We are live. Hello, everybody. It's really good to have my special guest today. I have Julie here with me, and it's such a beautiful day to hang out with you, Julie. Julie is a new friend of mine that we've been hanging out and doing business together. Julie works with female entrepreneurs, coaches to help them create clients and have their first six-figure year. Her mission is supporting you to have a truly profitable business without sacrificing your health, well being, and relationship. She believes in simplifying. Now, I love simplifying, okay? She teaches her clients to drop the busy work and focus on four client generation activities. And she also loves talking about balancing your masculine and feminine energy in business for better results. She lives in Bakewell. Do you say Bakewell?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Bakewell, England. And she lives with her partner, and they have a beautiful dog that I met not so long ago, Rosie.
Yeah.
It's so cool to have you here, Julie. I'm really glad that you're here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Olu. I'm so excited for this chat, and I love what you do in the world and your community. So, really appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Julie. I have some of the people that are watching online. If you're there, and you can just do hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay would be nice as well. And I'm super excited to be here. Julie's energy is up today, and we're gonna get this done. Now, Julie, you want to tell us a little bit about where you started from? Like, how did you get into the coaching world?
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually been in this coaching world getting on for 8 years now. So, it's been a while. But first of all, it was because I was looking for a way that I could travel and earn money while I was traveling. And I was already doing health coaching in my previous job. And they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and that was certainly the case for me. A very charismatic American coach popped up in my newsfeed on Facebook and said, hey, I have this way that you can travel and earn great money and serve people, and it's called coaching. And so I was hooked. And I went and did my coaching qualification, traveled to the US, and then actually did go traveling with my husband at the time. Now, unfortunately, we ended up having a very stressful time, and I did create some clients, but then really went into feast and famine in my business. We ended up coming home and really actually going through a divorce. And at the real low point, I was in my parents' tiny spare bedroom, back in living there in my 30s and feeling horrible, very low confidence, no clients. I had a mountain of debt. And so I really wanted to figure it out. And I went and got a job for a little while just to boost my finances. But I was a terrible employee. I disliked it. All I wanted to do was get back to being self employed. And so I relaunched 5 years ago, initially as a virtual assistant. I don't know if you knew that, Olu, but I was a virtual assistant first, and then I was an online business manager supporting six-figure coaches behind the scenes, running their launches for them, doing their marketing. So I learned a lot, but I always wanted to be coaching again. And I knew I had to figure out this client getting piece. I actually did figure it out. I learned so much through supporting those other coaches. And for me, it was really once I simplified and I stopped listening to all the gurus about all the different things you're supposed to do to build a business. And I just looked at what is actually bringing me clients. And when I focused on that, things fell into place. I got traction, and I had my first six-figure year in business.
Wow. Wow. I love your story. I really love your story. And I love the part that, you were saying I meet a lot of people in business that are just starting out, and they're wondering where do I, you have this negativity going on because there's no money coming in when you're starting the business. I love the way you actually went in and actually got some job, and while you were doing, very smart, okay, you now started. I didn't know the piece of the virtual assistant part. You
Mm.
were actually like an apprentice to other coaches. That is
Yes,
very
I
smart.
was getting paid for it at the same time, which was awesome because I knew that I had to learn how to get clients. And so I thought, well, how can I learn? How can I work for myself and earn money at the same time? And this was a great solution. So that
Absolutely.
was really my path. But I also had a question, which was, how can we create profitable businesses without sacrificing our health and well-being? Because certainly in my last job that I worked, even though it was for an animal charity and I loved the charity, it was so stressful. And there were these very masculine ways of working. And I can remember one of my colleagues, her grandmother died, and she was really close to her grandmother. And they said, right, you can have one day off to grieve. And that really hit me hard. I just thought, wow, is this really how we do business? Is this really the way that we want to go? And I was in a small office. There were 7 of us, and 5 out of those 7 had depression and anxiety. So, my big question when I created my company, Do Business Like a Woman, was how can we do this in a different way? And how can we create profitable businesses without sacrificing our health, our well being, and our relationships? And my whole business and company and journey has been around answering that question. And of course, we can. And that's what I love to share and teach.
Absolutely. Wow, I'm really loving this. And by the way, I love the name of your business, which is Do Business Like a Woman. I love it because I'm a woman and I love being a woman, right? There was a time I didn't like being a woman, and I was wondering, I think the men have it better, but but I love being a woman, and I love the fact that you're doing what you're doing. And I think we should actually just jump into the masculine, feminine energy thing because I don't know what you mean by masculine, feminine energy. And I'm sure my viewers are wondering, what does that mean? Can you tell us
Yeah.
more?
Oh, great. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about. And it's interesting how this came to be in my business, because obviously I teach getting clients. That's ultimately the problem I solve with people. But I love to bring in this balancing the masculine and feminine energy. So let's start with what is masculine and feminine energy. And it actually has nothing to do with being a man or a woman, because we all have both types of energy. A woman has masculine energy and feminine energy, and a man has masculine energy and feminine energy. Rather, they are types of energy. You can think of it a bit like yin and yang. They're just different types of energy that we can use and channel and show up in. Now, in our world, in our society, traditionally, business has been done in a very masculine energy way. And the feminine has really been pushed down and suppressed and ridiculed. Now, if we look at what it means, masculine energy has to do with logic, it has to do with thinking, it is about goals, it's very linear. And it is about the I, the individual. It's about achievement. It's about doing. And so it's that kind of energy. Masculine energy is about giving as well. It's outward energy, right? What do I need to do? Let's get this done. Let me give something. Let me go do something in the world. Feminine energy, on the other hand, is much softer. It has to do with feeling rather than thinking. It has to do with being rather than doing. And it is a receiving energy. So, feminine energy is about collaboration, it's about the group, it is about lifting everyone up, it's about community, health. Um, I always think that feminine energy is our connection to the divine, whatever that looks like to you, whether if you're a religious person, it's your connection to God, whatever that is, but it's that connection we have to something more than ourselves,
Mm.
right? And so for me, that is feminine energy. And it also is our space for creativity, it is our space for intuition. and it's a receiving energy. So oftentimes people who are very in their masculine energy, and this was me, I was very much in my masculine energy. They are doers, they will get things done, and they're very, very busy, but they tend towards burnout. They have a hard time holding still, and they have a hard time receiving. So in terms of building a business and getting clients, we actually need both, right? We need that masculine, get things done, systems, consistency. And we also need the feminine, receiving, being, self care, top up our energy. And if you have all masculine with no feminine, it's a recipe for burnout. And that was certainly my experience the first time round in business that I told you about.
Oh, wow, wow. This is interesting, okay? This is really interesting. So what you're saying, Julie, is that we have both in us, and it's sort of the way we approach life
Mm.
and business, right?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I first came across this concept in the dating world. And at the time, this was years ago, I was having a hard time with dating and meeting a good partner. And I realized that I was showing up in my masculine energy. And I was following a dating coach called Rory Ray. And she teaches this concept of masculine and feminine energy. So that's where I first learned it. And I realized I was showing up fully in my masculine. I was planning all the dates, I was doing the things, I was chasing the guy, and it really wasn't serving me. So I learned there first how to be in my feminine and how to let that energy bubble up inside of me. And it changed my dating world. I'm now with an amazing partner. So when I opened my business, I saw myself do the same pattern in business. I was doing, and I was working so hard. I was like, just tell me what to do. But it felt very dry. And I could see these women who were talking about manifesting and feminine. And I was like, what's going on with that? I didn't understand that at all. But I knew I was missing something. And so when I had that break between the first iteration of my business and when I relaunched, I really went inside and asked some deeper questions and got really silent. And that was when I got the intuition to allow myself to be in feminine in my business too. So that was how that came about.
Wow, thanks for sharing, Julie. As you were talking, I was wondering, so there's the side of you as the person, and then the side of the other person that you're showing up for, right?
Mm.
How does being able to manage or balance your energy, how does that affect, yes, you? We've looked at that side. And if you have anything else you can add to that, but I'm thinking of even the other person that you're showing up for, because here in this community, we're always talking about going live and showing up on video. How does that work?
Yeah, great question. I love that question. So, if as coaches or business owners who are going live, oftentimes it is really appropriate to be in our masculine energy, even if we're a woman, because we need to show up as leaders. We need to show up as confident and grounded. And feminine energy can be a little bit like water, very fluid, and it can be very beautiful, but all over the place if it is not contained with a masculine structure. So the masculine energy is actually meant to support the feminine. So that's things like your systems, setting yourself up to go live on video properly can all support your feminine. But we can show up on video in masculine energy. But every now and again, we can show that softer side. We can maybe drop down into the feminine. Maybe we share a story that makes us vulnerable, but our audience can connect to and see us as a human being. And then when you're dealing with a client, say you're in a sales call, again, you may show up in your masculine and lead the session and say, right, this is what we're doing, this is what the agenda is. There will come a point where the prospect is talking, and it's appropriate to lean back into your feminine energy and just listen and hold the space and be soft. And so there are different times that we can use these different energies. Additionally, if someone's really in their masculine energy, then when it comes time to receive money and receive clients, energetically, sometimes it's almost like they can be pushing that away. So they've done all the masculine work of all the doing, the creating sales calls, etc. Now it's time to just open up and have some self-care and receive. And it's interesting. I was talking to a client today and she'd been on holiday and she said, whenever I go on holiday, that's when clients sign up. And I think it is something to do with that relaxing into that energy and receiving.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And I have to say that I kind of agree with this, and I think that this is profound because I had, and I've shared this here before, I have had a similar experience to that.
Mm.
I used to do financial planning, and there was a particular time that I actually decided, my husband and I, decided that I should take a break because for some reason I needed the break, at the time, and I needed to go do a retreat. Okay. So I went into, at the time I couldn't even afford so much, and so I went into the office, the church office that we had at the time, and I stayed in there for 3 days. Okay. So just
Wow.
not doing no food, nothing, just
Mm.
praying and fasting and just waiting on God and just enjoying the presence of God. Okay. I tell you what, I came out of on Monday morning and my phone was off the hook, was just ringing off the hook. This person had been looking for me and they were like, "Where have you been all weekend? We've been trying to reach you," and that I got the biggest client I'd ever got at that time. Right.
Wow. Wow.
So and every time I think about that, I see it is actually, like you said, the divine side of things where God, I believe, is drawing you to a place of rest and
Mm.
just saying, relax, don't go hustle, hustle, hustle. Just take it easy.
Oh, wow. That is such a powerful story. It gives me chills. And it's like, yeah, you've done your work now. Now let me do mine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like where God, the divine, comes in
Yeah.
and we've done all we can do. And now it's time to receive and trust. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. I
Wow.
love that story, Olu.
Thank you. Thank you. You brought it up. Yeah. So now how do you bring this into client generation?
Yeah. So, what I want to talk about, I just want to touch on the four client generating activities because prior to that, I was, in my business and I was doing helping the other coaches marketing their business, but I was also coaching some clients on the side. And I was hearing from a lot of gurus. You have to be omnipresent on all the social media platforms. You have to go networking. You have to do blogging, have a website and YouTube and Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, it actually paralyzed me because I was like an octopus on roller skates, trying to do all the different things, legs
Mhm.
going everywhere.
Mhm.
And so I just stopped. And it was another one of those moments. And I just went, hang on, let's stop. And I took a breath. And when I looked at it, I said, what activities are actually bringing me clients? And I stopped listening to all the gurus. I dropped all the busy work and I figured out that it was just actually four activities that were bringing me clients. And I thought, right, I'm just going to focus on those and see what happens. I'm going to stop jumping from tactic to tactic and shiny object syndrome. And so the four activities that I focused on were lead generation, as in bringing new people into my sphere.
Mhm.
I focus on nurturing those leads. So once they come in, how do you build a relationship with them and how do you serve them and provide value? And then I focused on creating client magnetic content. So content like you teach people how to do, Olu, that is really relevant to the potential client.
Mhm.
And then I was asking and inviting people to work with me.
Mhm.
And that's just four things. And that's all I did. And I got traction. I started getting clients and then I could raise my rates. I then let go of the done for you work that I was doing. And at the end of 2019, I went full time in my coaching business. And I've been full time in my coaching business ever since. Finally created my 6-figure year. And then I started teaching my clients to do the same. And they love it. because it's simple, right? We get rid of all that busy work and we simplify. And so for me, this really is balancing masculine and feminine energy, because we have the four activities that are masculine doing activities, and they are structures. But also within that, I really encourage my clients to practice self-care, a bit like you did when you took that retreat,
Mhm.
and to just really make time for family. So they're switching their laptops off by a certain time in the evening, they're having weekends off. And so, yes, we work hard within that framework, but we're not busy, right? We're not doing all the things and working, pulling all nighters and all that hustle thing, which I think is so unhealthy. So that's how I love to do business.
Wow, wow. I'm really loving this. Now, I have to say that a lot of times the temptation is huge out there, okay, to just do, in your words, masculine way, right? Because you think that's the way, that's the only way to get it done, and you keep hustling. In short, the hustle, grind, and all of that, and I personally even have the temptation to stay in the hustle, and keep going.
Me
But I,
too.
I really like the way you're saying, just take it easy. And yes, you've done the work. Now sit and wait for the results to come.
Yeah. And to be clear, this is not about going all the way feminine either, because there
Exactly.
are people out there who, their business model is manifesting, right? Let me just sit on the sofa, and we've all seen the movie The Secret, and let me
Mhm.
just manifest my clients and attract my business. And I always say manifesting is not a long-term business strategy, right? So we love to have some of that energy going on, but you need both. So you do need the doing, you do
Mhm.
need the four client generating activities, the masculine energy, and then also the feminine. So it really is about the balance, Olu, I
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
I'm nodding along with you because can very easily get pulled into
Mhm.
our society is used to doing business in a very masculine energy way. And
Mhm.
all the bro marketing out there, it really reveres just hustle and hustle till you die, and
Mhm.
sleep is for wimps and stuff like that. And
I know.
I think, particularly as women, this is not good for our bodies. We understand, I think, health and community and relationships, and it's to safeguard those things and
Mhm.
really to show a better example to our children as well. So
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's where it ties back into your health, your well-being, and your relationships, right? Because it's only the people that are here that are able to do business, right? If you're gone and you don't have health to do business, then it's going to affect everything, people that are your loved ones and everyone, right?
such a good point. I mean, health is everything in terms of if we don't have it, as you say, we can't do business. And although I don't know about you, but I certainly, a big part of my journey has been learning to manage my energy. And I notice that when I take care of my health and I have good energy, it's so much easier to do my business and show up and do the things and attract the clients. As compared to when I get very exhausted or I'm not taking care of my health, and then it's a struggle.
Absolutely. But, as you were just talking, I just remembered one of the practice that I have first thing in the morning is I spend time to just pray and be
Mm.
quiet, right? To just be quiet and not jump into the activities for the day. As much as I have so much planned out for the day, I don't jump into my phone notifications, my social media, emails. I just want to stay and be before. Yes, I'm going to grind and I'm going to grind all day, but before I jump into work, I want to receive. I want to relax. Does that fit into what you're
Oh,
talking?
yeah, that's a feminine energy practice. So it's just different words for the same thing, really.
Mhm,
So,
mhm,
I think any kind of prayer, meditation, quiet time, is when we're receiving guidance, and it's when we're connecting in, and it really sets us up for the day. Otherwise, we're just like worker bees and we're just busy, busy, but what are we really creating? So I love that you have that practice, and I'd love to hear from, some of the viewers and replay watchers. What do you do for
Mhm,
this?
mhm.
What are your practices to connect in, and for self-care, and for your feminine energy?
Yes, yes, yes. And viewers, thank you for bringing that up again, Julie. Viewers, if you have questions, you can also pop them in the comments so that, we can address them. We only have just a little bit more left. We can address them before we end up, or we're going to, Julie is going to be in the group answering the questions, so please put them in the comments. We'll be very glad to come back to that. Now, Julie, do you have anything else that you would like us to know, so well, today? Because, you've blown my mind away with this masculine energy and just a masculine feminine, just understanding the whole thing around. Because like you said, I used to see the manifestation, let's just as a matter of fact, I saw a lady that all she does is just manifesting and just
Mm,
manifesting. And it's, I think she tends to also enter into the gurus that are saying this is all you need. Okay.
right.
But she's already got there. It doesn't mean that that's all you need to do, right?
Yeah,
So
and also the thing about that is, what they don't tell you is that usually they have hustled at some point, they've done the work, and at this point often they have a team who are doing that masculine energy work. So it's not that nobody in the business is doing it, right? There is somebody doing the daily activities, there is somebody sending the emails, there's somebody connecting and selling and setting up sales calls,
Mhm,
right? And
mhm,
so maybe the face of the business, assume if it's a woman,
mhm,
maybe now she does get to be more in her feminine, and
mhm,
she's the visionary, and she's
mhm,
showing up and doing lives and
mhm,
manifesting.
mhm,
Awesome, right? But you do need both, and
mhm.
I have yet to see it work with just one or the other.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that, and just in case you're thinking you're not gonna have to go live, maybe that's what you're gonna have to do. You still have to go live. You still
Yeah.
have to, do the four client generation. It's very interesting because we have the golden method as well that says practically the same thing that your four client generation does, and but I love the fact that you're saying that you need to receive, but you need to give as well. You need to be the leader. I always talk about you being the leader of the mission,
Yes.
transformational leader that you want to pull people out of where they are struggle and bring them into freedom. You need to have both and be able to manage, balance it well, right?
Absolutely, Olu. Yeah. And what you're teaching people is so needed in terms of showing up on video. I mean, it really is the next best thing from being in the room with someone to create clients.
Now, how can we get more from you, Julie? How can, I'm sure some people are listening to this, and I know actually some other people that are going to be watching the replay that are
Yeah.
wondering, how can I get more from Julie?
Yeah, well, I have a Facebook community, and I would love to have you over there in the community. So it's called Do Business Like a Woman. It's a Facebook group. All you need to do is go facebook.com/groups/do business like a woman. And I see you've dropped the link in the comments. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah, come and join us. I teach simple strategies for coaches and female entrepreneurs to get clients. You can promote your business over there. So you actually get a chance to do that in your intro post. And on Fridays, you can share your services with our community. We've got over 2,000 women in there now. It's an amazing, supportive place. Also, I do trainings every Monday where I teach the four client generating activities. We have conversations about masculine and feminine energy, and it really is geared up to help you have your six-figure years, and still have your health and well-being and relationships. So that is really the conversation that we're having over there. I'd absolutely love for you to come and join us.
Awesome, awesome. I'm in the group with Julie there, and I'm doing business like a woman, right? And I'm
You are.
learning to.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, do you have anything else that you want us to wrap up with today, Julie?
I don't think so. I think that is it. But, thank you for having me in your beautiful community. And I do hope some of you will hop over and join our group too. And, as I say, there's lots of goodies in there. There's a guide section with free training on the 4 client generating activities and how to get clients. And it's just a really special place. So I do hope you'll come and join us. I do various workshops and things every now and again, free things that are available. So Olu, I really appreciate you having me, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, no, no, it's been a lot of fun for me as well, and I want to encourage you, for everyone that is watching, you can hop into. I can see people hopping off, and I think they're going to go join your group. Yeah, so please go join Julie. I love the work that you're doing. I love your energy. I love the way you present things to people, and if you're out there and you're wondering how can I get more clients, you're going to learn a lot from Julie. All
Yeah.
right. So
Combine what Olu is teaching you as well, right? Because you need the video aspects. So
definitely, yeah, we have that agreement, okay? That Julie is not going to tell you not to go live, okay?
no, hell no, because I believe in the power of video, right?
Absolutely,
Your
absolutely, and she's
messages.
always going live in there too. So really, Julie, thank you so much, and thank you for doing this. I know it's late over in England right now. I know it's late. I know I'm cutting into your dinner time or something like that. I'm sorry about
Dog
that.
walking time next. Yes, my dog keeps looking at me like, "What are we doing? Come
I
on."
know. Awesome. Thanks, Julie, and thanks everyone for joining live. And I can see someone says, "Wow, live." I'm not sure who that is because we can't see your name with the software that we're using. But really, thank you. If you're just joining and you're just joining now, you actually missed the whole thing. You can just wait a little while, and then watch the replay because it's going to be available right away. All right.
Amazing.
So thank
Thank
you,
you, Ollie.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening and a good day. Bye.